Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in a little bit more on the tendencies of the female or male psychopath, and that is on the thrill chasing, the thrill of the chase, the high risk sexcapades, if you will, the high propensity to be constantly need to be stimulated, constantly doing things. You know, they might say, oh, that person's just a doer. They're just this, they're just that. They like to work a lot. They don't sleep much. They like to go out a lot. You know, the people who don't really know them or know of this disorder might just, casually say, hey, that's just how he is. That's just how she is. She's a doer. She just needs to be busy all the time. She's a busybody. When in essence, in the nature of the psychopath, it is this thrill of the chase, this need to be constantly stimulated, constantly doing things, pulling things over on people is what is covering up this profound lack of emptiness, this boredom, this sense of meaninglessness in their life. So if they can kind of keep themselves active in this way, then they belay that sense of boredom, that emptiness, and they'll just go and fill their time and their life with basically thrill after thrill, chase after chase, and manipulation after manipulation to belay that boredom. And it's in essence, I think it's very important to understand that because they don't really have kind of a life purpose or life mission, I think really resonating with them the way that a lot of other people do. And of course, a psychopath would probably be apt to argue with me on this, so that's fine. I'm not entertaining that. But basically their life mission basically comes to conquer, to win, win, win. I'm going to win this. I'm going to win that. I've won you over. Boom, you're done. I've won this over. Boom, you're done. I mean, that's just how it's just kind of like the ultimate, you hear about, there are takers and there are givers. It's kind of like, they're on a complete take adventure, if you will, but it's more taking energy from people too, I think. And that is what is so scary is, they tend to be, might have heard the term spiritual vampire or psychological vampire. They do kind of get into this twisted meaning, and they are almost vampirous, if that's even a word, of people's energy. So they are kind of on this ilk of like not your usual type of person. They are kind of like spiritual and psychological vampires, where they really suck the sort of good out of you, the good lifeblood out of you. It's very scary. It makes you feel like you can't trust yourself. You can't trust reality. You might have fits of feeling disoriented or depersonalized or not knowing where goodness is in life. Yet you're, surrounded by, you feel there's a sense of warmth, but you don't know how to get it back into your life again. And so it can be very disorienting. So that's why it's very important to not engage with these individuals, because of this sort of propensity for them to take the good from you. And they do this through observing you and using certain neuro-linguistic programming to kind of overwhelm your own brain operating system. So it's not good. It's, a lot of people, and I just, I know that there are people who've been married to these people, and it's like you're dealing with a whole unreality. And so you just have to realize that they don't have the emotional connection to things the way that you do. So just don't, I don't want to say pretend like they don't exist, but you have to be very neutral, very indifferent. Don't have eye contact with them. Realize that, you don't need to judge them, get into banters, get into a grade, don't have any emotional engagement with this individual whatsoever. But do have that emotional engagement with the kids or whatever else is meaningful in your life, and really go to step up the meaning in your life with, really those wholesome connections. Realize that this is a damaging sort of person, a very damaging energy, very, very negative. And so, you must fill your being with light. And when I say with light, I mean it's something that you feel and then you ask to come into your life, which is to ask that sort of holy and peaceful, benevolent presence to come into your life. And it's really kind of an opening up, and it's a request, it's a surrender, and it's an asking for this to make the light presence known, and to really allow this to fill your body. because this is really what gives you back that humanity, that perspective, that value, that connection. And as I call it, it kind of rehumanizes you. And you need to live and acknowledge this in life, and forgive yourself for being dissuaded by this individual that you had contact. You were in contacted with them in the name of love or in the name of productivity. So that was why you had perhaps pursued them, but you had learned otherwise. So it is a lesson learned, and realize that makes you so much wiser. And furthermore, you should educate, if you can, educate, your children, or, that there are other people that you maybe should not trust, or you should not, confide in or open up to if this and this is the case, if they're going too fast, and just plug in your lessons learned, use it as a teaching opportunity. When someone does this, when you see someone doing that, when you see this going on, don't be a victim to that. Don't get persuaded. Don't be swept off of your feet. Think twice. Don't fall for that. Realize that this is how people bully. This is how people are mean. This is what we call manipulation. And so it's important for you to know your own emotions and protect yourself. And this is what boundaries are, and this is what assertiveness is, and this is how now this is part of your life, and you need to learn these and exercise these tools. And so I want to get back into understanding that this psychopathic kind of risk-taking, this high-risk behavior, this tendency to need to go on thrill after thrill, that becomes the meaning for their life. But it's meaningless. It's like trying to build your life on something unsubstantial. I mean, it's worse than castles in the sand. It's just gonna, fall away. I think Jimi Hendrix wrote a song about that. Was it Castles in the Sand that just came to mind? But I mean, it's not. It's just allegory. It's believing in the illusion. And then, this is illusion is what they have reflected back to yourself, which is, just to keep them from being bored. And yet you have fallen for this total illusion. So you feel this complete self-imploding from having, been taken. But it's more than that, because your mind is now basically kind of abandoned from itself, and the things that you value, you were taught to disengage from for this other person. The things that are important to you, or are close to you, you were taught to disengage with and kind of separate the meaning in your life for this individual. So you made the ultimate sacrifice of yourself for this individual. It's like, this is too much. This has got to stop. This has got to go. This is not right. And, your life, the meaning will restore in your life when you really begin to journal and focus on the I ams. I am stable. I am holding it down. I do have a life. I do value people. I do value authenticity. I do value emotional, connections between people. I do value the good. I do value humanity. I do value good and, beautiful music. I do value art. I do value the people who are striving, who have been through tough times, and who are trying to make them, make good of their life. And I do value the courage of the human spirit. This is what I value, and this is what I support, and this is what I love to see. And a lot of this stuff is just, it's meaningless. It doesn't hold any weight. So you can let that go. And as you realize that, a lightness will come to your being, because you'll realize that is just all the problematic that belongs to this individual, and it doesn't belong to you. It doesn't live in your spirit. It doesn't live in your body. It doesn't live in your thought process. It's not how you think. So have courage, belief in yourself, and trust enough in yourself to stop thinking like this individual, or stop even connecting with this sort of train of thought in this illusion that was mirrored back to you, which is just that. It's just completely devoid of any purpose. It's completely devoid of any meaning. Furthermore, restore your life purpose. Give yourself permission now to flourish in those areas of your life that are significant, meaningful, and resonant, and really, significant to you, even if it's just as simple as taking a walk in the fresh air. That will do more for you. Even if it's just as simple as increasing your water content and, doing more for your body, versus, the self-sabotaging behavior. Little changes like that built up over time with repetition and experience will begin to bring about the healing. And then you're healed when this individual no longer has an impact on you, but you're standing firmly in your ground in knowledge and understanding that you are a person of empathy, of heart, and of caring, and of love, which this person is not. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.